The accurate depiction of firearms in the movies is a subject we often discuss, and on a handful of occasions our crew has been granted unprecedented access to one of the largest movie prop house armories in Hollywood. The place is called Independent Studio Services, or ISS, and this time we're back inside their armory to learn more about the guns of American Sniper. American Sniper the movie is director Clint Eastwood's adaptation of Chris Kyle's book of the same name. That account became the starting point for Carl Westa and his team to begin preparing the detailed equipment for filming.
I got a military-age male on a cell phone watching the convoy over.
First thing I did was read the book. In the book, it was great. He laid it out like a map, what he had, so we knew a lot of the equipment already.
But this is very specialized and expensive equipment, and in some cases very rare.
The total investment for all these rifles, plus all the rail systems and everything we had to buy for the M16s, we've got over $100,000 invested for this film.
A difficult position to be in, especially before the film was officially given the go-ahead.
The green light was basically, yeah, it's a go, this is happening. And prior to that, we had a lot of money invested in different equipment and rifles and such, and we weren't sure if the film was going to be made. Yeah, Clint said it was, so we took him at his word, and we made it, we made all of this happen. But it very well could have been where, we made a massive investment and they could have pulled the plug.
Hold on, I got a woman and a kid 200 yards out, moving towards the convoy.
With the green light in place, it would be the first rifle seen in the opening sequence that would be the most challenging to assemble.
Her arms aren't swinging, she's carrying something.
It's an early style Mark 13, McMillan A2 stock, Remington 700 action. It's got this rifle was built by Dan Ross for us, D.D. Ross Company. We had a pair, all these rifles were done in pairs. We knew the stock it had. We didn't know the make of the barrel. The one odd thing about it is it had this kind of donut-looking thing on the end. It was an in-field adaptation for the Mark 11 silencer, suppressor, and it also had these McCann Industries rails. The rails is an earlier version. They have a more modern version now, which is available, and we could have easily have purchased those for that gun. But the rifle that Kyle used had the earlier version. They were nowhere to be found, so that was the biggest part of that build. He used it in the opening sequence. I think the first 2 or 3 tours, you see it also on the wall a couple times. There was a lot of talk on the optics too, what he used. In his book, he said he used one type, and then the Navy advisors were saying, well, no, he would have had this, and it basically was the power on the scope. We stuck with what Kyle said he used in the book.
The advisors had input, but it was one of Chris's fellow SEALs that helped most.
Kyle's partner, Kevin Lace, he's played himself in the movie, Dauber.
Lights out, Moosh.
And he started getting some photographs to us. And the photographs were great. There was, it basically solidified everything we were doing.
Another gun that posed a challenge was Chris's gas gun, the Mark 11.
I initially was looking for a true Mark 11 to buy, and there are a few of them out there. There was 100 of them made that went to the civilian market with the proper markings and everything. And when I started finding those, I did find a couple of them available out there, but they were priced at about $25,000. Yeah, so I called up Knight's Armament. I've had a relationship with them in the past, so they ended up building these for us.
There was one more rifle Carl had to get for the film.
It's a GA Precision Gladius, and when we started doing the research, you just type in on Chris Kyle rifle, and every single photograph you see is this rifle. It wasn't used by him in the military, obviously, but I thought it should be in the movie, and I had made that recommendation several times early on that, hey, we got to get this gun in the movie, we got to get this gun in the movie. And our investment was so large with some of the other military guns that we couldn't really pull the trigger on this one right away. And it wasn't until later I was talking with Mike, the prop master, and he goes, we got a scene, that rifle would be great.
I see you can't hit 2 in a row.
Thankfully, I called up George at GA Precision, and I asked if there was any way they would be able to loan us a gun. I mean, I wanted to buy it, but you know, I can't have everything.
Who's a legend now?
Firearms manufacturers and Hollywood working together? You wouldn't always expect that. And an interesting point about the bolt guns for the movie, all of them run. No modifications are necessary to make a bolt gun function with blanks. Only the semi-autos need to be plugged to create the pressures needed to operate the action.